Hello Slims and welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be sharing my unfiltered and personal thoughts on current 4th gen girl groups and boy groups for the first time with you all. This will be cut into 2 parts because I'm not able to cover all the groups I want to cover this time around. Stay tuned for part 2, but buckle up and grab a snack now because we are jumping right in. This group is bound to be big. They're from SM after all. They have everything. Talent, visuals, innovative music, and something most groups never get, which is the general public's attention. Now I can't bring them up without addressing the controversial topic of their stage presence. Honestly speaking, I think the whole conversation regarding this was blown out of proportion. Like with most opinions, stage presence is subjective, and I for one have really enjoyed all of the Savage stages. Then I rewatched them again for this video, and I can kinda see what everyone is saying. The common criticisms are that the girls look too blank and they dance robotically. TBH, I think the way they look on stage Marizo has to do with their concept and the way SM is coaching them to perform. When it really comes down to it, it's not even the lip syncing that's the issue. I think what the girls need to do is personalize their performances and make it their own. The girls have different personalities, but you don't see any trace of them in their performances. That's why they come off as bored or uninterested. I don't think this is a rookie problem either, because I have seen debuts where most to all the members of a group stand out. Right now nobody in aespa stands out. Not even Karina with her clean and sharp dance moves have the charisma to compensate for the lack of presence in the performances. But do know that she is one who pulls off the whole AI concept the best. I'm gonna skip the vocal conversation because I don't it's necessary to discuss. aespa has the strongest vocal line from 4th gen girl groups. But I just wanna briefly talk about the rapping for a minute. Not the best, but not bad at all. I think Karina is the best member at rapping as well as the member who sticks out the most. Her sleek and metallic voice is perfect and makes her rapping unique. Winter is the main vocalist, but her raps are not bad either. Giselle is the worst out simply because of her diction. It definitely needs work as sometimes her raps sound out of place. You can refer to my previous video for my opinion about her rap in Zoo. She is definitely lacking, but I wouldn't go as far to call her a dozen. We don't need to do that. Anyways, I'm impressed with the music we've gotten from the girls so far. The performances and overall acting can improve, but these pretty girls are talented, and they have much more to prove as idols. These boys are really standing out within the sea of all these boy groups. You could say they are only popular because of BTS, but at this point in time I think that is disrespectful considering how much they've come into their own. They literally released 2 of the best comebacks from this year. But not even just that. Since debut all of their albums have been the highest of quality. The B-sides on their most recent album faltered a little bit in my opinion, but even so you can't classify them as filler tracks, because you can tell each song was made with care, and not there just to be there. Their discography is immaculate. All the members are all-rounders. Hype did well with curating their image apart from BTS. TXT honestly are the only 4th gen boy group I genuinely see leading 4th gen role. Not only are they unique, but even more so, they are giving what BTS is no longer giving. Amazing music. And when I say amazing music I'm not just referring to their American releases. The only problem? Everything about this group is great already, so the only thing I would add is a splash of authenticity. Listen. The boys are cute and super skilled, but they seem too perfect. I don't know if this will make sense to you guys, but I think what they are missing is more creative freedom. This goes for all K-pop groups. I think the reality is that most companies don't trust their artists to be successful by themselves. Instead they'd rather mold an individual into something that is deemed marketable rather than giving them the opportunity to show who they really are. That is why in general idols are not seen as artists. And that is the only major fault I can find with TXT. Hopefully in the future Hype will allow TXT to have a bigger part in their music, because that would really do them well. If you told me during this group's debut that they would lead 4th gen I would have believed you. When they debuted they were on top of the world. They were a force to be reckoned with. They were monster rookies. They have 2 of the strongest performers in this generation. Their stage presence is excellent. No one can deny this. Their title tracks are polarizing, but they always make your head turn, or at least they used to. Dalla Dalla really was a moment in time, and that release solidified the promise that this group held the potential to stand out. I'm gonna be honest, they lost me to With Mayfair in the Morning. Not only does their self-love theme get lost in translation, but since 1/8 this group hasn't managed to surprise me. Another thing, am I the only one that thinks it's his recent main tracks have been too tame for them? Not Shy, Mayfair in the Morning, and Loco have good compositions and aren't terrible songs at heart. But these tracks could be done by lesser known groups and they are too generic for a group that was supposed to not be generic. I said this in my recent opinions video, but the music that's coming from this group is not nearly as experimental as it could be. It means different, and I'm gonna need Jip to have the girls live up to that name. Also they need better albums. Every now and then they have like one good side track, but the rest is just lazy filler and half-ass B-sides that are undeveloped in production. Just a suggestion, but maybe start trying new things. For some reason I imagine it's his B-sides to have a similar landscape to the kind of stuff SM gives NCT and aespa. I'm not saying the girls should be like them, but their music quality isn't to the likes of their peers. Yes, the title track has to serve, but so does the album. Companies tend to forget that, but yeah. I don't really know what to say about this group. They have good music. All the members are well rounded. They have a dedicated fan base and the backing of a big company. But for some reason they just don't stick. They are not memorable. I kinda feel bad for saying this, because the boys are great, but they need something to help them stick out from the crowd. The authenticity problem I have with TXT also exists with these folks. Maybe they just need a few more years to develop as idols, but like their brother group I really want the boys to have more creative freedom with their music, so it's easier to connect with them as people, cause right now they seem too plastic. Also this is kinda sidetrack, but I really think they should have trained a bit longer. Honestly speaking, the only person I think was absolutely ready to debut was Heesung. The rest of the members can keep up with the choreo, but they are a bit lacking in terms of vocals as well as individuality. Because the boys perform the same, we come to the same problem with aespa where no one really stands out. The boys are rookies and they have plenty of time to hone their skills, so I'm not stressing about that. I just hope that in the future we get some individuality in terms of the group and see performances overall. When compared to the performances of other 4th gen groups that is clearly stand out. Their pre-debut dance videos speak for themselves. Their unique concept is also something that separated them from the other boy groups. I mean, what group has done a pirate concept and successfully at that? These boys have everything they need to be successful, and they are only getting bigger. My only complaint with them is maybe their musical direction as of now. Deja Vu was good, but I must say it didn't feel completely at ease. Yes, it was an at ease song, but it sounded more like the typical boy group stuff that I'm used to hearing. Even though I don't care for the real, that song had more of their own color, which is what gives them that feeling of specialty. TBH, I wasn't sure if their original sound was gonna get them more popularity, but I really hope they stick with it, because it's what makes them different. Also, this may be off topic, but I was a little concerned with Jungho's voice. He is undoubtedly one of the best main vocalists from this generation, but it was obvious to me, and a lot of people, that he was straining his voice and it sometimes made his high notes hard to listen to. A while ago he said he was receiving vocal lessons, and now I really hear the difference in his technique, and his higher register doesn't sound so jarring to me anymore. He definitely sounds more controlled, there's no denying that.